my camera just died, so I found some batteries. I don't know how long they're going to last, so I'll try to be quick. So we were talking about the angel of the Lord and Bil'am. So in short, we see now that why did the angel of the Lord get angry at Bil'am? Well, where are we even? Okay. ويفتح أذرنا فيها أثان وتمر لبلعام عصيت لخاء كي كثاني زاش ولش رغولين. So this is the part that everybody remembers, that God opened the mouth of the donkey and the donkey spoke, yeah? And he asks him, why did you hit me these 3 times? And Bil'am answers, وَيُمَرْ بِلْعَامْ رَأَثَانْ كِي هِدْعَلَنْتْ بِي. So Bil'am answers, because you made light of me. Had there been a sword in my hand, I would kill you. This shows something about the nature of Bil'am, that he's violent and full of pride, because otherwise he would not be so offended by the actions of the donkey that he would want to kill it just for pressing his foot against the wall. But the actual reason was because he got extra embarrassed due to the emissaries of Balak who were riding along with him. Not exactly the humble personality of a prophet that you would expect, that should be expected. Now, there's something interesting here that you see, and that is that Bil'am doesn't find it at all unusual that the donkey is speaking to him. My personal approach to understanding the Hebrew Bible is not to ignore the face value meaning of the words, but when it comes to particularly unusual or apparently miraculous stories being recounted, to try to understand them in the most reasonable way possible, without automatically jumping to the conclusion that the plain literal meaning is the intended meaning. Especially having in mind that Hebrew idioms, especially in the Bible, are not always as modern use of the same terminology. So here, and I'm not saying by that the Bible is just one big metaphor, God forbid. So here, could be, and definitely God is able to cause a voice to come out of a donkey and speak. But even then, that voice would not actually be the donkey speaking. It would be some voice that God created. We know that animals are not like humans. Humans are made in the image of God, not animals. And that image is an image, not that we are in the form physically of God, heaven forbid, but rather that, like the Creator, so to speak, we also have consciousness and the ability to do as we please. Again, so to speak, it's nothing like the absolute will of the Creator. But this is in contrast to the other created things. So it makes no sense that the donkey would actually speak of its own accord in this sense. My personal take is that when it says God opened the mouth of the donkey, it means that God gave a voice to the donkey. And that God, as a part of this whole prophetic experience with the angel, God gave a voice to the donkey's feelings so that Bil'am would stop and think about what he's doing. And this was done in the manner that God basically put the thoughts in Bil'am's mind, the perspective of the donkey. Continuing on, in verse 31, you see that God opened the eyes of Bil'am, and he sees the angel of God standing in the way with the sword drawn. Right after you see that Bil'am was wanting to draw the sword and kill his donkey. So God is showing to Bil'am at point blank that he is the one who is worthy of death, essentially. وَيُمَرْ Elo, and God said to him, the angel of the Lord said to him, why did you hit your donkey these 3 times? Again, it says that I, the angel of the Lord, have come out against you as an adversary, against you. Why? Also the angel, just as the donkey, God speaks to try to convey a message to Bil'am in in the personality or the persona of the donkey, so also God speaks to us when through angels. The angels are not God, but God speaks through the angels. So sometimes it's referenced back to God in the midst of the speaking. You have examples even of this of human messengers in the Hebrew Bible, so don't think it's so strange. So here God gives the reason why the angel came out as an adversary, because Bil'am yaraq haddarikh lanardi. Bil'am was desirous and going in the way, in the path against me, against God is the intention. This you can see indicated, as I said before, in the way that Bil'am dealt with the situation where God allowed him to go with the messengers of Balak. He didn't oppose it as Moses would have. And not only that, but in the next verse you see that he rose up first thing in the morning to get on the way. So his intentions were not just to fulfill the will of God, but he was hoping that there would be some other way that wouldn't violate the will of God as he knew it in his prophecies, some other way that he could cause about destruction towards the people of Israel, and thereby have fame with Balak, the pagan king of Moab. By the way, the word yaraq is the same root as the Arabic word yarid, that someone should want. The only difference is that in Hebrew the root word is an implosive T, and in Arabic it's an implosive D. That's the difference of ta and la. So this brings us to a question that was recently asked of me of a friend who I know through the internet. Later on you see in the prophecy of Bil'am one of the most important teachings of the Hebrew Bible, that God is not a man.